thing says your speech. If you made somebody not like somebody else and you hurt their feelings, you're going to prison. This is the Soviet Union. We're about to break, but Reverend Pike, break down. This happened in the Soviet Union. Hate crime, sensitivity training, all of this stuff was done before.
Oh, absolutely. In fact, Lenin in 1918 put on a phonograph record which was sent all out throughout Russia, that if anyone ever even said that any of the Bolshevik leaders were Jewish, it was an automatic death sentence.
Automatic death sentence. And again, do we have free speech in America or not?
Well, this is going to be determined next Wednesday on how the people respond.
Well, my God, folks, total tyranny. No one is safe if they allow this to pass. And they want to turn the SWAT teams and police loose on you. They want to take your property, and they are coming. This is the Red Terror. Ted Pike, back in 70 seconds. The good old folks at New Silver Solution. And the website is supernaturalsilver.com. Supernaturalsilver.com. This is something that kills bacteria, viruses, you name it, well documented. They've got it down to a super small, nano-sized particle. Supernaturalsilver.com. Check them out at Infowars.com. The end of the First Amendment, ladies and gentlemen. The end of freedom. But look, these criminals can pass this law. I'm not following it. But the point is, they're trying it. They're very close to passing it. It's real. Okay, Reverend Ted Pike, please continue with the history of this. And then now, what's in this bill specifically? Because they're on the news admitting, and the bill says if you influence somebody by your speech, not even calling for violence, you go to prison. I mean, this is just off the charts, anti-American, anti-freedom.
Yes, absolutely. If we want to know where this bill is heading, you just have to go up to Canada. In Canada in 1971, the ADL, B'nai B'rith, after 10 years of lobbying, they finally persuaded Parliament in Ottawa just minutes before the Christmas vacation to adopt their federal hate crimes law for Canada. That's Section 319. And the government also, about 10 years later, adopted an anti-hate, a so-called anti-hate internet law, Section 13.1. And what that says is that if your speech is even likely to cause humiliation or hurt or wounded feelings in some member of a federally protected group, then that is a federal hate crime, and you can have a $5,000 minimum prison, or excuse me, a fine. But if you continue in such statements, you will go to prison. And this cyberbullying bill, as we mentioned earlier, is exactly like the Canadian law. It says that if you even intend to cause severe emotional distress in another person, then you can go to prison for 2 years. You don't even have to cause the emotional distress in them. You just have to intend it. So these ADL laws are all thought crimes laws. They are very subjective, very nebulous and unclear. They're just wide open for expansion, clarification by federal judges. If this bill is passed, very quickly, contrary to what ADL tells legislators, they say, oh, this is only a bill to prosecute violent hate crimes in the states when the states can't or won't enforce the law. But the truth is, as soon as this bill is passed and the government begins to lay down indictments against people, even for violent hate crimes, then the liberal judges will begin to pontificate from the bench. They'll very quickly say, oh, no, we have to do more than just protect homosexuals, Jews, etc., from violent physical hate crimes. We need to protect their delicate emotions and self-esteem. We'll have to legislate and to pontificate, adjudicate, I should say, against that verbal violence that goes across the airwaves and out of the pulpit and so on. So this is a very slippery slope that this hate bill will take us immediately. And again, I have to repeat, we can kill this hate bill next week if Americans now will call their senators today, immediately after this program, call them and just ask them, would they like to watch this shocking video that shows the Attorney General of the United States Holder spitting it out that there is no equal protection under the hate bill. Tell the staffers to go immediately to truthtellers.org. There on the homepage, you'll see the Attorney General saying basically exactly the opposite of what the liberals have always been taught, that there is equality and justice under this hate bill. Not so, says Holder. This bill is only for a protected elite, a protected minority of those who've been...
But that's what the bill, that's what the bill says, and it says the feds basically, they choose, just like with the green carbon tax, the bill that's passed the House gives these federal boards, 30-plus agencies, unlimited power on anything producing carbon. So the media is always, it's only on big power plants and coal plants. It's not on you. But then you read the bill, it's on everything. And we already have enough of a chilling effect in this country. So right when people are mad, tired of the tyranny, they're creating these new political crimes.
Yes.
And turning our police into political officers. We're going to come back and play some more of Holder in testimony and a lot more with our guest, Ted Pike. Stay with us.
Do you understand how dark it is? How far down the line we are? How late it is?
We're talking with Ted Pike, TruthTellers.org. I'm Alex Jones at Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com. And I have the national, international media attacking me on a weekly basis in national publications, saying I'm causing murders. You've got 300 million people in this country. You're going to have a few lunatics that kill folks from time to time. I don't deserve to be blamed for this. Plus, I'm not calling for it. And it turns out that Von Brunn actually didn't like me, and neither did Poplawski. But regardless, to say that you're guilty because they say you're guilty, not even for your speech, but they say something you said may have made this person commit these crimes. A few months ago, I was wondering, why does the media keep trying to, with no connection, to connect me to these people? And their questions, are you causing them to kill? Do you feel guilty? Should you get in trouble? They're getting fed the line. And then I found out, in my case, the Southern Poverty Law Center is on my butt. And the ADL's been caught breaking into police stations and stealing files on people, and they're the ones that train the local police. this is brainwashing. And then I've seen it in the news where people get arrested for giving the police Ron Paul videos or my films, or get arrested for a anti-UN sticker on their car, and the MIAC and DHS report, and now Homeland Security. Holder has a bill where he will put you on the terror list for your political speech. And they're already doing this. It won't say why 1 million plus people are on it. And they have a bill where if you're on the no-fly, no judge, no jury, extrajudicial, you're going to be on the no-buy list for guns. They're saying if you have bad credit, you're going to be on the no-fly list and then no guns. So it's not just the hate bill or the cyberbullying bill or the DHS reports or the no-fly, no-buy or this new bill I covered yesterday. I've got it here on the stack. I'll give you the bill number if I can dig it out. They're now saying, and saying there's a new world order is hate. That's code word. And we're like, what? Even if it was code word for something, it's your First Amendment, but it's not. David Icke wrote a book believing that space aliens control the world, and he was arrested in Canada, and they said space aliens is code for Jews. So there's also a rampant, like, Hitlerian or Soviet-style paranoia where... this is a reign of terror. This is so un-American. Ted Pike, break down more of how they're federalizing our local police. And can you elaborate on my point that this is just a nexus for other things in this, I keep calling it Soviet because it's particularly Soviet, of secret list and secret arrest and no judge, no jury. This is incredible, Ted Pike.
Well, it's extremely important that we defeat the hate bill, because the hate bill is kind of the flagship of other...
It's the biggest head on the Hydra, or it's the body of the Hydra.
That's right. The big federal hate bill is a broad bill which will end free speech in America. But we have to realize that there are basically 3 civil rights, hate crimes, bias crimes bills now before Congress. The first, of course, is the hate bill. But there's also ENDA, which is the Employment Non-Discrimination Act. That's now in 3 committees in the House Judiciary. The ENDA is ADL's workplace hate crimes law, which makes it a federal offense to to deny employment to a homosexual because he's a homosexual.
And then that federalizes everything.
That's right.
And brings the feds in and weird sensitivity training when nobody is even talking or thinking about this. It's like forcing sex ed on third graders. It's perverted.
That's right. And also ENDA will force churches to hire homosexuals in non-clerical, non-clergy positions.
So Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof. This is the end of free association, free market, property rights.
Yeah. Now, if we can defeat the hate bill this week, perhaps as early as this week, if we can flood the Senate with this request that the staffers and the senators watch this very embarrassing, very damaging video with Holder admitting there's no equal protection and there's no need on the local level for a hate crimes bill,